Hey everyone, welcome back to the Economy Garage. Today we're diving into something that could completely transform your freelancer career. How to track your work hours as a freelancer for better results. And how this connects to mastering your overall freelance time management as a beginner. If you're just starting out as a freelancer or you've been struggling to manage your time effectively, this video is going to be a game changer. We're going to cover everything from using a freelance time tracker to developing rock-solid time management strategies that actually work. Let's start with time tracking, because honestly, this is where most freelancers messed up big time. When you work with clients outside of platforms like Upwork, or you have a free time tracking tool integrated, you need to become your own timekeeping expert. This isn't just about getting paid accurately. It's about understanding where your precious hours are actually going. A freelance time tracker is basically a digital tool that records exactly how much time you spend working on specific tasks or projects. Think of it as your professional bodyguard for your time. It protects you from undercharging, keeps clients happy with transparent reporting, and gives you the data that you need to make smart business decisions. Now, why is this so crucial for beginners? When you're new to freelancing, everything takes longer than you expect. That blog post that you thought would take 2 hours, it might actually take 4. Without tracking, you're flying blind, and that's a recipe for burnout and financial disaster. Let me walk you through setting up your tracking system. First, you want to choose a reliable tool. I personally recommend Clockify because it's free and incredibly user-friendly. Once you sign up, the first step is adding your clients to the system. Create a client profile for each person or company you work with. Next, set up projects for each client. If you're doing social media management for Sarah and blog writing for Mike, create separate projects for each service. This organization becomes your lifeline when you're juggling with multiple clients and need to see exactly where your time is being invested. Here's where it gets interesting. You need to set your billable rates in the system. Go into the project settings and input your hourly rate. This allows the tracker to automatically calculate how much you should be earning for each session. For beginners, this feature is absolutely golden because it takes the guesswork out of invoicing. When you're ready to work, simply describe what you're doing. Select the appropriate project and hit start. The timer runs in the background while you focus on the actual work. When you finish or take a break, stop the timer. It's that simple, but the impact is huge. The real magic happens at the end of the week or month when you need to get paid. Your time tracker becomes your professional invoice generator. You can export detailed reports showing exactly what you work on, for how long, and what the total cost should be. This level of transparency builds massive trust with clients and eliminates awkward conversations about billing. But do you need a software to do it? No, not really. You can do the all-reliable spreadsheet and online timer trick. It is actually how many of us started, but doing this means to have a very structured process, moving through different tools and writing memos and hours descriptions for a client the hard way. This takes precious time away that could be focused on more clients. But time tracking is just the foundation. Let's talk about freelance time management as a whole, especially for beginners who are trying to figure out this whole independence thing. The biggest mistake new freelancers make is saying yes to everything. You get excited about potential income, so you take on 5 clients, promise impossible deadlines, and end up working 16 hours days while barely making minimum wage. Don't do this. Instead, start with boundaries. Decide when you work and when you don't. Maybe you're available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, maybe you prefer evening hours or weekends. It doesn't matter what you choose, but you must choose something and stick to it. Clients respect freelancers who have clear professional boundaries way more than those who are available 24/7. Time track hours as a freelancer worker means you also need to understand your natural energy patterns. Some people crush it in the morning, others are night owls. Pay attention to when you do your best work and schedule your most challenging task during those peak periods. Here's a game-changing strategy for beginners. Time blocking, or as I like to call it, batching. Instead of switching between different clients every hour, dedicate larger chunks of time to specific clients or types of work. Spend your morning writing blog posts, your afternoon on social media management, and your evening on administrative tasks. This reduces mental fatigue and helps you maintain focus. Create what I call your hive, one central place where every task, idea, and project lives. This could be a simple notes app, a fancy project management tool, or even a physical notebook. The tool doesn't matter, but having everything in one place absolutely does. When a new task arises, it goes straight to the hive. A client mentions a revision, you write it in the hive. When you think of an idea for improving your time management, hive. When you remember you need to send that invoice, hive. Don't overestimate your memory. Your brain is for creativity and problem solving, not for storing random to-do items. Every freelancer I know who struggles with overwhelm is trying to remember everything mentally instead of using reliable external systems. Now, let's talk about the relationship between time tracking and overall time management. When you track hours as a freelance professional, you're gathering intelligence about your business. You might discover that your lowest paying client is actually consuming 60% of your time, or that certain types of projects take way longer than others. This data helps you make informed decisions about raising rates, firing difficult clients, or adjusting your service offerings. For beginners, this intelligence is especially valuable because you're still learning how long things actually take. After a few months of consistent tracking, you'll be able to give clients accurate project estimates and avoid the nightmare of promising something in 2 days that actually requires a week. Communication becomes so much easier when you have concrete data. Instead of vaguely telling a client you've been working hard on their project, you can send them a detailed report showing exactly what you accomplished and how much time each task required. This level of professionalism sets you apart from amateur freelancers who work in chaos. Here's something most beginners don't realize. Clients actually love detailed time reports, even if they're not paying hourly. It shows them exactly what they're getting for their investment and helps them understand the value of your work. Many of my highest paying relationships started with impressive time tracking reports that demonstrated my dedication and organization. Let's address the elephant in the room. What happens when you're tracking time and realize you are working way more hours than you're getting paid for? This is incredibly common for beginners who are still learning efficient workflows. Don't panic, but do pay attention to these patterns. If you're consistently spending more time on projects than you estimated, you have 3 options, and the third is my favorite. First, get more efficient through practice and better systems. Second, raise your rates to account for the actual time investment. And third, have honest conversations with clients about scope and expectations. The beautiful thing about time tracking is that it gives you objective evidence for these conversations. Instead of saying you feel overwhelmed, you can show concrete data about workload and time investment. For freelance time management in general, Beginners need to remember that sustainable success requires treating yourself like a business. This means scheduled breaks, reasonable working hours, and time for professional development. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that working more hours automatically means earning more money. Quality trumps quantity every single time. 2 focused hours of excellent work are infinitely more valuable than 8 scattered hours of mediocre output. Time tracking helps you identify when you're most productive and plan your schedule accordingly. One final piece of advice for beginners. Start tracking time from day 1. Even if you only have one client, building this habit early will serve you incredibly well as your freelance business grows. It becomes second nature and you'll wonder how you ever manage without it. Remember, freelance time management isn't about cramming more work into your day. It's about making strategic decisions that maximizes both your income and your quality of life. Time tracking gives you the data to make those decisions confidently. Your time tracking is your most valuable asset as a freelancer. Treat it with the respect it deserves by tracking it, protecting it, and using it intentionally. Master these fundamentals and you'll build a freelance business that supports the life you actually want to live. That's our wrap on today's deep dive into freelance time tracking and time management for beginners. If this helped you see time management in a new light, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what your biggest time management challenge is right now. See you in the next video. GG's!